weight and no flex. Flex alive is one in the six. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, Dave Walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Well, damn. Damn. All this talk about eyes and look at that. That's just crazy. Holy cow. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Yeah. How you, Stormy?
I'm good, man. Raring to go. Glad to be here. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Resurrection if y'all celebrate that. Who we got in the building? Cop Killer. Salute, fam. Yep, he sure did. Adrian Vent. OG Eric. What up? Ratchet since 91. Shogun. What up? Op in the LD in the building. Mark Wunderlich. Salute. Black Alpha. Main event. Mark. Yave. Salute. 909 in the building. Alfred. What up? CB Sports in the building. DP Rocker. King Jr. Ern Jordan. Elevated Consciousness. Salute. Akando. What up? Jose Diaz. Rashad Livingston. Jacked. Andrew Gray. NBA D Nice. Phenomenal Mexican. Salute. You know what? I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'll talk about the Charlos during the week. I just can't wrap my brain around what the hell that was. I don't. Whatever, man. Whatever. JC in the building. Pablo Escobar. Chef Boyardee. Salute. Well, let's get into it. I was very satisfied with boxing yesterday. Johnny Q, Hard Body J Timo in the building. I was very satisfied. Andrew 100, Curtis Price, Mike Rim, salute. Rod Neal. I kind of, Rampage, what up? I felt like there were shades of when I enjoyed watching it, dare I say, in the 90s. And I was satisfied with everything as a whole. If I'm going to quote the sensei, boxing yesterday, I'll give it a B minus, which is a passing grade. You know, Dwayne Jones, Derek McGee, King Corleone, Rob Singleton. It's a passing grade. El Padrino, salute, Almighty Law. Yeah, it's a passing grade. So what I'm going to do, we're going to jump around a bit before we get to the main event. Let's talk about the Doc. What up? The gorgeous Alicia Baumgartner. Did you catch that fight?
Absolutely, man. I caught it. Not only caught it, but I caught some things that I just talked about on my post-fight show. And ain't nobody talking about it, but you know I did. I went there. I went in on her corner because, first of all, salute to Alicia for a great performance. She fought at the quality level that she brings it, and she put on a great performance. That woman was trying her best to do what she could do, but Alicia's talent, athleticism, overall ring IQ were superior. I thought that she did get touched a little bit too much from someone who should not have been able to lay hands on her. And that was just due to a little bit, maybe, I don't want to say lack of focus, but it was like maybe she felt like the woman couldn't hurt her or something. I don't know. I would like to ask her questions on that to get a full, understanding of things, because sometimes a fighter will do something like that to allow the opponent to try to pose a threat so they can do what they want to do in return. So it's like, I would like to get that type of question answered. But outside of that, I don't think Alicia worked the body enough. Mm-hmm. She should have gotten some more body work in earlier in the fight. You don't want to go to the body late in the fight. You want to go to the body early in the fight, and you can keep body work up throughout the fight. But it's imperative to understand that a person, you can work them up from head to waist. You know what I mean? But overall, good victory for her and everything. Now, the critical side of things, and I noticed it, like I said in my post fight, I said that coming back to the corner after the first round, I noticed it right away. And then I started watching each and every subsequent round. Not only was Tony Harrison standing up there on the ring apron yelling instructions at her like the guy was who was in the ring with her, who I think was supposed to be the head trainer. I forget his name. But I noticed right away, Drew, that neither guy removed her gum shield from her mouth. And I noticed it from the first round. Then I noticed it in the second round. And each and every subsequent round. Do you know that woman was taking her own gum shield out?
You know,
and
you're going to have me
holding it?
looking at corners from now on. Because I
Drew,
was so
that's
caught
why.
up in the amazing job she was doing, I
Listen,
disregarded the damn corner.
this is why I do what I do. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
That's right.
And I'm catching this and I'm insulted. The first thing you do is pull a gum shield
pull
out of
the
the
damn
fighter's
gum
mouth
shield
and
out.
start rinsing it and give them water or whatever. They are talking to her and she's sitting up there nodding. Okay, yeah. And she's got a gun. And then she has to reach and pull it out herself. And then after that, she just started, when she got back to the corner, she's walking back, she's taking it out herself. Watch the fight. Watch the replays.
Damn.
And I'm saying,
Tony know better than that.
listen, bro. I saw this.
Sheesh.
If Tony gonna stand his ass on the ring apron, reach out there and take the woman's mouthpiece out of her mouth. Don't be worried about that stupid stuff you're yelling. I don't really care for him too much, but it's like, okay, we have to deal with him. But be a professional. This woman is a world championship fighter. You can't remove her gum shield after every round?
Damn.
After every round. I'm talking about round 8, 9, 10. She's really? Come on, man.
You see, I didn't notice it because I was focused on the amazing job she was doing in the fight. Because the corner is the last thing that we are supposed to be noticing, because we're gonna assume that they have it under control. But like I didn't miss it last week in Erickson Lubin's corner where they poured the empty bottle. He said, I need water on the head, and they're shaking the empty bottle over his head. I said, what the fuck are they doing? You know what I mean? So now, see, I didn't notice that because she was winning. But Erickson was getting his ass kicked, and I'm just paying attention in the corner to listen, and then I noticed those discrepancies. But, you know, now I'm going to go back and watch it. How do you not? That's the first thing you're supposed to do. Get it out the mouth, man. God damn.
It's amazing. And see, it's one thing to be like, okay, remember I said I noticed it right after the first round. So I'm watching for it now. Every round after that, same thing.
Oh my gosh. Who's in charge over there?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know her corner like that. But it's amazing when you start to pay attention to certain things, you could see like, wow, how people fall short. Remember, a corner man, your chief second, the coach, the trainer, the person that's going to give you the instructions, they're typically the one that get in front of you when you sit down, because they have to look you in the eye. They have to assess where you are, you know, make sure you're alert and everything. And typically their job is to remove your gum shield, rinse it, give you the water. Now, as the fight goes on, if you begin to sustain damage, they're supposed to allow your cut man to come in and take care of that. And they stay on the outside of the rope right in your ear. You see? And some cornermen, some trainers like to handle cuts themselves. Some of them, you know, like if I need to press the answell, I can do that. But if it's a real bad cut and it needs that doctoring, that a real good cut man can take care of, then they allow that to take place. But you're supposed to have a certain sequence of how you do things, because you only have 60 seconds or less
Yes.
to handle your fighter in the corner. Now, even to the degree that you have a person available to put the stool in before you get in the ring, because when the fighter comes back to the corner, the stool should be there for them to sit down. I've seen corners not even have the stool ready.
Oh,
where the
man.
fighter returns to the corner and holding the ropes like this, waiting for the stool to be brought in, and then they turn around and sit down.
You know what I seen before? And this was at an amateur fight, and it was an accident, and I laughed, and I know I'm going to hell, but the fighter got rocked and the round ended. So he's bobbling back to the corner. Guy jumps up on the apron with the stool, goes and pulls the stool over. The shit slips out his hand, flies in the fucking air, almost hits the ref. The ref turned around, thought he threw the stool at him. It was a fucking nightmare, but it was funny. It was funny. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Listen, Drew, when I first started working in the gym with my mentor, Eddie Davis, when we would be in the corner, he told me how to handle things. This is why I'm saying these things to you. I would stand on the side while Eddie is going to get in the ring and talk. I have that stool ready for the fighter. When the bell ring, I have the stool in my hand. When the bell ring, I slide the stool sideways under the bottom rung and sit it up right there in the corner up against the ring apron. It's a simple job. When the fighter stands up to get ready to go back out, I take that stool down the same way, boom, and I'm done. I'm out of the picture and everything. Eddie is handling everything else from that moment. But it's like when you are practiced in doing these things, it's like on cue. I don't understand it, bro. I don't.
It's like NASCAR racing when those drivers pull into their pit.
Absolutely, because everybody's got a job to do.
Yep, and you got to be in and out of there. Change the tire, do what you got to do. You got to be in and out of there, man. You know, so I even noticed that only because she was winning. Now, had she been getting her ass kicked, maybe I'd have paid more attention to the corner. But I hope this is not something that is a thing now that I've just not been noticing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's crazy. That's crazy that they don't have. She was taking her damn mouthpiece out on her own. I've never
grabbing it out, and you know when you're gloved up, your gloves you got minimum the way they're designed.
Yeah, you can also damage your lip like that. That's ridiculous, man. But
it's not something that the fighter should have to worry about.
Right.
It's just like removing the gum shield. You know, when a fighter, it depends on which kind of gum shield they have, but those gum shields can, as you're fighting, they can stick to the roof of your mouth and everything. Yeah. So there's a way that you're supposed to pull it out. I remember Alton Murchison reaching in Roy Jones's mouth one time between rounds and he cut Roy's mouth on the inside, and Roy was like, damn, man, you know, because he was too reckless in going in there. But what you would like your fighter to do is to do their part too. As you headed back to your corner, if you can be cognizant of the things you know, kind of push it out. So when you sit down, I could just take it, rinse it, give you your water, and get on with our business. But see, these are the type of things you communicate way before fight night. You're doing this in the gym. That's why it's supposed to become second nature.
Second nature. Absolutely.
There are some fighters who don't want to remove their gum shields until they say so, you know, and that's understandable. That's something that is communicated between the fighter and whoever's working their corners. But you don't get to the event and start figuring shit out.
Yeah, it's too late at that point. Well, salute to her. I'm glad she won. She didn't respect the power, walked her down actually in a lot of spots, and it was one-sided. So salute to her. I'm gonna bounce around now on it because there was a lot of good things we saw last night. I want to go straight to Jose Valenzuela, El Rey. Very impressed with this kid. I mean, put it like this. The fight was over so fast, I couldn't gauge anything.
Yeah.
Because it ended so fast. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say I like what I see so far. What are your thoughts on him?
The same. listen, you don't get paid overtime.
That's right.
The other guy's chin got in the way of his fist, and the fight was over just like that. Would we like to see more from him? Absolutely, as soon as possible. But to go out there and take care of business and get it over with, I love it. That's just like, it's second nature. When you go out there, you got a job to do. Focus, zero, dialed in, and this is the effort. This is the result of the efforts. I loved it. I can't wait to see that kid again.
What do you think's next for him?
It's hard to say because on one hand, that can scare people. So you might have a few who aren't so willing to take the fight right away, might try to price themselves out and stuff like that. On the other hand, it gives them an opportunity to tell, the promoter, hey, put me on your next card right away, even if it's like 3 weeks from now, because I got no work.
Yeah, no work.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to maximize and optimize your conditioning. That's what fighters used to do. You know what I mean? They used to take care of business that way. Some guys are just happy being on TV, like that kid. I can't think of his name. He fights on DAZN cards. The young brother. Can't think of his name right now, but he's a young fighter. Jahai, is it Jahai Tucker?
Jihadi. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Damn, as soon as you said, I can't think of his name now. Shit.
Yeah.
And salute to the chat. I see y'all. I'm just we just cooking. I see y'all. Salute to all of y'all. I see y'all.
Yeah, salute everybody. His last performance was really bad. Mm-hmm. And as the rounds went on, he got a little distracted because I think he was full of himself. It's like he done fought on TV a couple times. It's like, he was like, but the opponent came to fight on that particular night and he didn't look good. And then he started running out of, thinking what to do to swing the fight back in my favor. So he was grabbing a lot and he was just trying to kill the clock and do stuff. It's like, dude.
Jahai Tucker. That's his name. That's his name.
That's the guy. His name. Yeah, and he did not look very good in that performance. And I was saying, like, see, if I'm his coach and trainer, I'm going to tell him the truth. I say, hey, man, you're smelling your own dirty underwear too much here, bro. You got to get it together. It's like, just because they may feature you and put you on a 6-round or 8-round or whatever on the undercard or whatever, it's like you got to go out there. You got a job to do, and your job is to perform.
That's right.
And you have to understand that the other guy that's across the corner from you is there realizing that he can make a name for himself by whooping your ass or making you look bad. You see? Right. So, yeah, absolutely.
Let me get to this super chat. Africa is home. Salute to you, brother. He says, salute, Drew and Stormy. Peace to the chat, man. Peace to you. Much love and appreciation. What I appreciate about Jose, he was like, no way, Jose. And he got his ass out of there. And what better stage to do it but on a pay-per-view? What a way to make a statement.
Yep.
One punch, and the ref was like, ref, look, and the ref, and
didn't even have to count.
He walked over there first, and he looked, and he's like, nah, no. And that was a great call, and he couldn't have planned it better. And he got in there, and he got him out of there, and I've been keeping my eye on the kid. I saw I think somebody from Aki's channel interviewed him on I think Friday, and I watched what he had to say. He's very well spoken. He said some things about other fighters. I'm not gonna say their name because it's not about them, that I agreed with. And 135 is 130 live. And I don't want to put him. I want to put a jacket on him that don't fit just yet. But what I am saying is I like what I see. I really, really, really like what I see. And if he keeps this up, he stays busy, builds his confidence, whether it be a matchmaking thing that'll assist him. Again, I couldn't gauge him off of anything last night because he got him out of there. He got him out of there. So salute to him. That was amazing. I loved it. I loved it. And I want to see more of him. You know, that kid, that kid, I got my eye on him, man. I really appreciated that shit. That was great. I got my eye on that kid. All right. I see the brother Self-Made mentions Brandon Lee. Let's talk about him. What do you think of Brandon Lee?
Not very much. Brandon Lee is another one of those that they're going to put the machine behind.
Yeah.
And they've already done that. So they're trying to feature that kid. But I'm going to tell you something. He has no defense. He's wide open. He's a little strong. So that gives the impression that, oh, he's a big puncher or whatever. But you have to look at who they've got him punching out there.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody who will hit him back. Now, what was interesting last night is the young man who he fought had never been knocked down.
That's right.
Or stopped. And when his corner coaxed him into fighting back, he was doing some things.
You saw the difference, right? I was about to say that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's like Brandon was there to be hit, was there to be, you know, it's just a
Didn't they say they wanted to see 2 more rounds before it ended? It was a 10-round fight. I heard the announcer say, "Yeah, I would like to have seen 2 more rounds."
Yeah, and see, the thing is, when you have a fighter that can see, the kid that he fought last night could box and everything.
Yeah,
I keep saying this all the time. When somebody can box and they have a jab, they're always in a fight and they can win a fight. I just believe that the young man who fought last night wasn't confident in being able to do something, because it's like, I guess he did not necessarily want to be there for the receipt, so to speak. But I'll tell you this, Drew, and I've always had this as a cornerman's mentality. I like to take a guy who's not like the biggest puncher in the world. I like to make them develop that jab, that jab has pop and snap on it, and you use it in a ratio of working it up and down. You work the head, you work the chest, you work the pit of the stomach. And I like to tell them to throw your hardest punches to the body, because the body doesn't really know the difference between a big puncher and an average puncher, because your organs are in your body cavity. Okay. So a well-placed shot still hurts all the same, whether it was Mike Tyson hitting you or whether it was Paulie Malignaggi hitting you. If it's well placed, it's going to have an effect. You know what I'm saying? So getting hit in the solar plexus, getting hit in the liver, just beyond under the elbow and the floating rib, all of that hurts. So when you train a guy to do these things, they can be very effective. And with a guy like Brandon, all he's looking to do is come in and throw power shots. So if you could get a guy to stand in there and time him and be ready, because he's going to throw that shot and you throw that floating rib shot, Brandon's going down.
That's right.
Because he ain't never been hit like that before, because he was too busy focusing on hitting the other guy and he's wide open. I always ask people this question when I'm giving them the riddle of boxing. I say, when is the best time to hit a guy? You're standing in front of the guy. He's standing in front of you. Both of you got your guards up. When is the best time to hit him? The best time to hit the guy is as soon as he throws a punch. All you got to know is the counter to throw to the punch. Because even if he extends the jab, you need to know what the counter to the jab is, whether it's coming over the top, whether it's jabbing with him, whether it's hooking off the jab from the blind side, catching him, whether it's slipping and coming back. There's so many variables to this.
Pulling it and hit, man, so many.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like these things are taught in the gym. You don't do them on fight night, on the event. You do them in the gym. And when you practice these things, this is how you know you're able to, because remember, if you and I know we'll get to that fight, the main event, and because I got something to share about that with what I just said, to help pontificate my point, So, but yeah, that's how you handle it. And for a fighter like Brandon, he don't have no defense. See, his face is still clean now, right? Wait till he start fighting guys who can fight back.
Gary Anton will kill him.
He's gonna get
Gary Anton will
he's
kill
gonna
him.
be battered. He's gonna get closed eyes and everything.
Guess what? They ain't gonna fight. Get ready. They ain't gonna fight. By the time Brandon Lee, by the time 2024 get here, they're gonna be trying to stick that kid in our face, and he's gonna have a machine behind him, and we're gonna be like, "What about Anton Russell?" And they're gonna be like, "Fuck you! What has he done?" And we're gonna be back to that shit again. Mark my words. So let's get to all right. Fuck that. Look, Pitbull Cruz beat Gamboa. We knew it was gonna happen. Gamboa, if you staring him too hard, he got rubber legs. His chin is gone. They froze out all the goddamn Cuban fighters. I don't like when if anybody need to be mad, it'd be black Cuban fighters.
Right.
All right. And I don't like it. It's horrible. But we have a guest in the building, just slipped in the building. Blu-ray. What's good, bro? You on mute?
What's up with it, fam?
What's good? What's good?
What's up, Blu-ray?
Oh, man, cooling on it, man. What's up, folks?
All right.
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. Well, we were just covering the events from last night, and I guess we could talk about Stanionis and Buteyev later. Buteyev is a dirty motherfucker, man. That dude dirty as fuck.
Man,
that guy's dirty as fuck, man.
The only reason he defeated Jamal James is because Jamal could not handle that filth and thuggery that he brought in there with him. But Jamal was a superior boxer, but didn't have enough punching power to make him respect him. But also, Jamal's corner should have admonished the ref a lot more because of the dirty stuff he was doing to Jamal in the fight. Because it played on Jamal mentally, because it's like, the guy's head locking. Everything he did to Stanionis last night, but Stanionis is cut from a different cloth. He likes that stuff. It's like it kind of gets his juices flowing. So it's different for a guy like that. But yeah, that guy Buteyev, he's just a thug in there, man.
Yeah, he ain't come to lay down, but he knew those tactics would keep him in the fight. Stanionis maintained a lot of professionalism. The jab kept him in the game. The guy's
got an awesome jab. He's got a
very good jab, and he's tough, man. Because I know a lot of fighters that are folding under that pressure. Yep. But a lot of those guys, I will admit, a lot of those guys overseas, depending on where they're from, there's no quitting them. Some of those guys are built different. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. And it seems like Stanionis is cut from that cloth, man.
And a lot of that facial damage he sustained was from intentional headbutts and elbows and stuff like that. It wasn't from this guy punching him in the face. It was from other things that he was doing.
But I tell you what, Buteyev is going to get more work. They're going to give him work.
Because they're going to try to use him to knock other dudes off.
Oh yeah. He's going to be that kind of guy. So let's just go into it, man. Let's go to the main event, man. Let me just throw up this picture to remind y'all. Everyone like to talk about Errol getting thrown from cars, and he's the same person. Is he the same person in Errol's eye? This motherfucker looked like he got hit by a car, a train, fell out of a goddamn plane, ran over by my bus, and got punched in the face. And I'm being respectful. All right, this shit is crazy. He looked like a fucking, what was that shit from Star Trek, the Ferengi? Holy shit. When Bruce Banner was turned into the Hulk, and they put the split screen up, dun, 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 dun. This is how he looked. This is fucked up right here. When they zoomed in on it, y'all even know when Errol did that shit to him. Now let me say this. Errol is not flashy. People look at him and they say, ain't nothing special about this kid. Ain't nothing exciting about this kid. But I gotta say, man, it's really different when you in there. And what I noticed was Ugas stopped punching, man. And I'm like, what the fuck? The way I would feel to get Errol would be to punch with him. But for Ugas to stop punching, that means when he was punching with him at one point, he felt something that made him say, hold the fuck up. That hurt. I can't get hit like that again. And he was trying to figure shit out. Now, I don't know what they're speaking Spanish in the corner, but I'm really curious what direction were they giving him? Definitely not my phone.
My bad.
That's
My bad.
Oh, no. Oh, that's
That was mine. Somebody was calling me.
Sorry.
I was like, whoa.
So I was like, yo, he just stopped punching, man. And that last night, that sold me. I said, yo, Errol, because you got to remember, it's all for those people that didn't understand. Let me tell you, the first time, like I heard a story years ago, rumors. Yo, Floyd got fucked up in sparring yesterday. Huh? By what? By who? Say, yo, some kid. I said, oh, word. And you brush it off, oh, it's a rumor, whatever. And then I see Errol. I said, man, this dude, he like a 12-year-old boy. And then you start hearing more rumors. Yo, that's the kid that did that to him. And Errol, being professional, was like, he wouldn't talk about it. But then Floyd said, yeah, we sparred. And, and you're like, oh, shit, he really did. Because Floyd, if it was a lie, Floyd, you know how Floyd is. But he didn't deny it. And I said, oh, shit, this is the dude. And then I watched and watched. And I said, all right, he's not flashy. He doesn't seem super fast. His timing is great. But he's knocking motherfuckers sideways. And then Keith Thurman starts ducking him and shit. I said, hold on, there's something with this kid. Then later on, he gets flung from a fucking Ferrari. He ain't break no bones, just knocks his fronts out. Comes back, he fights Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia was scared to throw with him. So I'm like, what the fuck? Wait a minute, what's happening here? He wasn't scared to throw with Sean Porter. He wasn't scared to throw with Keith Thurman. He was gunshot against Errol off of a car accident. So I'm like, what's going on here? So now, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to say this. If punching with Errol is the way to beat him, Bud got to be careful, man. Bud got to be very, very careful. Because based off what I'm seeing, all right, Errol got buzzed last night, but that was because he made a mistake. That was Errol's mistake. He stood straight up and he said he thought he heard the ref say or timeout or whatever, and he got hit. He ain't fall. But outside of that, once he shook that off, he proceeded to whoop Ugas' ass. The kid different, man. Now, I don't know what it's like. Dudes get in there and it's like, yo, you or at home we're watching it like you could do this, you could do that. When they're in the ring, Mikey Garcia, nope. Whatever he thought he saw, nope. It's weird. It's weird. The way Ugas stopped, that's why I heard some clowns talking about they thinking the fight was fixed last night. No, not a fix. You don't fix that. If I'm gonna get paid to take a dive, I'm not gonna leave with my eye looking like that. With a what is this orbital shit broken? No. I'm just gonna throw myself on the floor and that'll be the end of it.
Well, now we have arrived to, what I was going to get to. Remember when I was saying earlier, when I was talking about Stanionis and Butayev or whatever, and I didn't want to go too far because I was waiting for us to get to talking about this fight. You remember how from the opening bell, Ugas came out and he was throwing this heavy jab to Earl's body, right? He was scoring with it. And Earl started giving it back to him. He stopped.
He stopped.
I
was like,
but hold on, because this is great stuff right here. This is why when you understand how boxing works, it's the difference between someone having an IQ and someone not.
Right.
Earl recognized, damn, that's a damn good shot. Let me hit him with it. See, if it's like this. If somebody caught you with something and you say to yourself, damn, that's a high shot. I don't want to get hit with that no more. But you leave it there. That becomes the advantage that they had, that they got your attention. And now you might shell up. You might there's a cutoff point. But if you take the data and you say, hey, I'm going to try that on him. You understand? We're talking about boxing being a martial art. If it works, why not do it? Just in that simple instance, and that was before the end of the first round, Errol was giving it back to him better than what he did, even though the first ones that he was throwing, they were scoring very well, because the objective for Ugas early on was to go to his body. That was the precursor. But Errol took it away from him. It's like a person that has a good jab, right? You have to jab with them. You don't let the guy that has a great jab just out jab you and jab you to death. You have to do something to disrupt the great jab. So whether it's you jab at the same time, you jab at his chest, you stick yours out, just you stick it out just because he's sticking his out. Somebody has to change. It's like somebody's got to get off of this line, this square, this line that we've drawn in the sand. Somebody's going to have to dictate this. And on my Friday night chop session, I said the person who has the IQ to make adjustments is going to benefit and win this fight. And I felt Errol had more versatility, hands down. But what we've seen from him in the past is he has had the mindset, I'm going to beat the guy at his own game.
Right.
He didn't do that last night. He made adjustments. And even though it may appear that he was fighting him on the inside and banging with him, he was not. He was doing certain things that most fighters don't do. When we saw Lubin get battered by Fundora just a week ago, the difference was Lubin got in the side and he languished in there. When Errol got inside with Ugas, he let his hands go. And when Ugas decided to shell up, Errol banged around the shell, inside the shell, upside the shell. He made him pay for not punching back. And he did it with angles, and he did it with turning. He did it with technique. And those are the differences. It's subtle adjustments. If you watch his pad work with Derek James, the punches that he's throwing at the pads are the same punches that he was hitting your Dennis Ugas with. It's the same. So he was in the rhythm of doing what he can do naturally. And when nothing is coming back, he can turn it up. He can apply more pressure. He can apply more power. He can start giving the type of angles that will make a guy not want to do anything because he's being banged. And the most important aspect of all of that, what I'm saying, he put combinations together. Combinations. You got to run the numbers. It's a lost art in boxing today. You got guys that fall in love because they've knocked out a few guys that they're supposed to beat, and they think they got punching power. But the thing about true power is being able to put them together. People remember Mike Tyson just knocking people out and guys falling. But if you go back and watch his clips of everything, the knockouts usually came after a succession of punches.
Volume
Not just one. He could knock somebody down with one, but getting rid of them is usually off of combinations. And that's a principle in boxing that is not stressed enough. Combinations.
Salute the Q Trucker in that super chat. Much love. He said, I was in the building last night. You can hear those body shots Errol was giving him, loud thuds. I believe it, man. Jesus Christ. And salute to my man, Boss Red, in that super chat. He said, Errol, Bone Crusher Spence is his new name. Salute, man. Blu-ray.
What's up with it, bro?
Your thoughts, brother?
I knew he was going to be Ugas. To me, Ugas wasn't no competition. That's just my personal opinion. So Ugas is not a good fighter to me. So I know a lot of people might think different, but he's a one-trick pony. If you pay attention to the way he fight, he's flat-footed. He doesn't move. And if you're going to stand up with Errol, it's going to be a long night. So, Errol did what he's supposed to do, and they just beat the dude up because to me, Ugas can't fight. That's my personal opinion.
Salute to Mr. Punch Out. He said Errol's punch placement is incredible. Salute, no doubt, man. So you're not high on Ugas. You're just thinking that he was at the right place, right time. You know, Manny Pacquiao was there for the taking, things of that nature.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, okay, all right. I think Ugas.
I'm just saying because you got to think about Ugas don't have no punch power. You know what I'm saying? He don't have no knockouts. He's a flat-footed fighter. You know what I'm saying? To me, his best fight to date was Sean Porter, but Sean Porter don't have no knockout power either. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you fighting Errol is like a sign of your death certificate. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like it's like the only people that could probably stand in the paint with Errol is Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Ennis and Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I only name those individuals because those are names that people want to see him fight. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So based off those names, those are the only people that I know that I think that can sit there and trade with Errol and make it a challenging fight. There's not too many people that can sit there with Errol. And if you flat-footed and if you can't box, it's gonna be it's like you signed your death certificate. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just want Errol to keep doing what he's doing, stay in the best shape because, you know, he got a big task with Crawford. And to be honest with you, I don't think Crawford can beat him. You know what I'm saying? If Crawford, I feel like Crawford is too little to trade with Errol. You know, he's too small. So, you know, right now, Errol, man, it looks like he's going to be on the road to undisputed for sure because I don't see Terrence Crawford beating him, even though I feel like he has a great chance to give Errol a challenge, but I just don't see it because even with Errol, like you said, when Errol fought Danny Garcia was throwing some bombs. I don't know if people were watching or not. He was throwing some bombs and he caught Errol a few times and Errol ate him. And Errol got a good chin. Even when you seen him get caught off guard, it's very rare that somebody gets caught off guard and they don't get knocked out. And he took a real good punch from Ugas and still was able to smile and grin and bite down and do what he do. So, you know, Errol is back. I'm glad to see him doing what he do. You know, I've been a part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? And I'm team man down all day.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm glad that we're at this point because now that Errol has officially, let me put this up. You know, I gotta. Now he's officially done it. He's officially done it. He's officially done it. So he's calling for that. He's calling for the smoke now. So he put it out there, and Bud responded. You know, Errol's on his Goldberg shit, man. You're next. You know what I mean, he wants it. He wants that smoke. So I don't know. My only concern, y'all. Bud ain't scared of Errol. Errol ain't scared of Bud.
Facts.
But the thing that was looming as of late was Bud recently went in the direction of MTK, and he's dealing with this Callahan criminal. He went for some sort of advice from him for whatever reason. Now I don't know if they have a working relationship or he was paid him for it. I don't know, but if that's the case, Al Heyman ain't gonna work with that guy because he don't want to be attached to him. This guy has a $5 million bounty on his head. So hopefully Bud is not totally in bed with him and we could just get this going because that's the only thing.
Drew, I don't think that's going to be a problem, me personally. I don't think he's in bed with him like that.
I hope not because I want this fight for the culture, man. I want this fight for the culture. And I think they got 2 fights in them. I think Errol wins, but I've been saying this for a while. We got to do this for the culture. Because all we got is us.
Yeah, that's the biggest fight right now. Is Crawford gonna take another fight before he fight Errol at the end?
No, he said no. The rumor was he was gonna sign a 2-fight deal. Errol was gonna be the second fight, and he was gonna. They was trying to talk about maybe Keith Thurman or Danny in between.
I would love to see. I would love to see Crawford and Thurman. The reason I say Thurman is because the buildup is gonna be real good. Danny Garcia, it'll be a good fight, but Danny flat-footed too. You know what I'm saying? It would be a boxing match between him and Keith Thurman. It would be an actual boxing match, and that's what I like to see. I like to see boxing. So
it'd be our luck. He fuck around and look either real bad or lose one of those fights. It'd be our luck.
Nah,
so
he's not gonna lose to Thurman, bro.
No, he'd stop Thurman.
The thing
right
about
now,
Thurman is Thurman will not give him a chance to knock him out. Thurman will stay away. He'll go to a decision and take his chances. He ain't gonna let Bud knock him out.
You know what's going to be? But that'll be good to see if Bud can stalk Thurman and actually try to take him out. You know what I'm saying? That'll be entertaining to see. And like I said, the build-up will be phenomenal because Keith Thurman is a hell of a he can talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be real with you. Keith Thurman body in the last fight that dude was ripped.
Yeah.
That dude was in great shape. That was the first time I seen Keith Thurman actually filled out. I was like, whoa, this guy, he must be taking this boxing real. I'm talking about his back was shredded. I was like, okay, Keith.
Yeah.
But he still can't take a body shot, but you know.
To save his life, man. This shit is crazy. He got hurt. I said, oh, he spit the goddamn mouthpiece out again.
Yeah, he can't take no body shot, bro.
All those abs and they ain't mean nothing.
Do you think they don't even let people punch him in the body in the gym when they sparring or something? It's
I don't know what it is.
He can't take a body shot to save his life.
I've never seen anything like that, man.
I mean, Barrios hit him to the body. He did not like it.
No, he didn't like it. He spit the damn mouthpiece out. He started wincing and shit. I said, come on, Keith.
Yeah. But as far as last night, Errol, like you said, I think Stormy Beast alluded to him going to the body. And when he went to the body, man, I think he couldn't take them body punches, man. But I really, really think about this. Even with Mikey, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia, Errol wasn't digging to the body the whole fight. When Errol started digging to the body on Ugas, he never let up. So, you know, he went back to his bread and butter. That was the first fight you seen Errol start back going to the body relentlessly in a while. So,
yeah. Salute to 88 Sports Talk. He said if survival mode was a person, that's Keith. Man, Keith, man, this dude Keith, man. I mean, that's crazy. Oh, salute to my brother Trick Nolte in the building. He says salute Drew, Stormy, and Blu-ray. Also to the chat, salute and good evening. Great show so far. Y'all holding it down. Spence and versus Bud needs to be next. And I agree. Salute to you, Trick. I agree because I'm not so mad about him not taking because it was rumored to be a 2-fight deal. And then I was like, they mentioned Keith, then they mentioned Danny. And then I'm like, you know what? No funny stuff. Errol looked like he could fight next week if he wanted to. He had no scars on his face that I saw. He looked fine. He looked fine. And now that fight is preserved. All Bud got, look, I don't want to know about the goddamn business. I just want an announcement. And this is the kind of conversation we should be having. Who wins between Bud and Errol? Because now there's nothing in the way. I don't even want to talk up that. I mentioned the Daniel Kinahan shit, but hopefully that's not anything that's going to work itself out. This fight needs to be next, like around November, October-ish.
And see, that's the thing.
Bud is fresh
the thing
and
about
Errol's
boxing
fresh.
that I don't like, Drew. It's like, and Blu-ray being here with us, he'll probably understand where I'm coming from when I say this. You just had a great fight, got a great performance out of Errol. He's not like damaged like with cuts or anything like that. I would love for this fight to take place at the end of summer or, you know, mid-summer, because you don't want the guys to blow their conditioning. When you work like you've worked to get in the type of shape that you're in to do what you did and you're successful, you want to ride the wave of that energy and keep it going. I know the guys make so much money now and that they can afford to stretch their fights out and stuff like that. The old wait period, like I said, Sugar Ray Robinson fought 5 times in 1 month. You know, it's like, and of course, technology then wasn't like, or medicine then wasn't like it is now. But when a guy can optimize his conditioning he will look even better if he fought sooner. Blu-ray, do you agree with that?
Stormy B, and I know y'all probably not a fan of his, but Canelo embodies that.
No. That's true. Canelo got a great work ethic. He's a cheater.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to the one, probably I'm in my opinion right now, and I'm just saying based off workload, Canelo ain't nobody doing what Canelo doing. Canelo is making just as much money, but he still seems like he's hungry. He's not waiting. I'm gonna fight one time a year. Every time you hear after Canelo fight, he got another fight lined up. He ready to go. You know, so and he making the money. He not letting the money go to his head. So that's one thing I gotta, salute Canelo for, that he stays active. And so that's just kind of confirming what Stormy B is saying, man. You don't want to get out of that conditioning. You want to keep it going, especially while you got your youth.
Right.
While you're young, man, go ahead. Bro, I was in the best shape of my life when I was 34 years old. So, that getting into the 30s, that's an excuse to me. I don't see that. Look at Floyd. Floyd 45 and he still looks great.
You're gym rat, man. Say what they want, you know what I'm saying? But Floyd, he stayed in shape, man. He trained like he was hungry. All those cars and shit, the women, whatever. When it was fight time, you never seen Floyd show up out of shape. The worst shape I seen him in a boxing ring was when he went to Japan and fought that Japanese kid. He looked soft. But I mean, still, his soft is the best shape of a lot of these fighters' lives.
Right.
At 40 plus years old. He's a gym rat. I know we got beef. Well, we got our things with Bernard Hopkins. Same thing with him. That man stays in the gym past 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that thing when you say
Bernard was in his 40s fighting at middleweight and had a 32-inch waist.
32-inch waist.
You know what I'm saying? That man was in very immaculate shape. He fought
shape,
often. He fought often. Bernard fought several times a year. He didn't stick around and wait like every 6 to 8 months and stuff like that. Because again, it's like wasting your conditioning to stretch it out like that. You don't have to do as much sparring. You don't have to do much of anything but just holding and maintaining your diet, primarily because you're sharp. When you're sharp, you can do things like it's just, at the spur of whatever instant that you have to call upon it. When you've been off for 8 or 9 months or something, you got to get back into the mode. You got to get your mind back to like, I got to kill this sucker and all of this. Because when you're in shape already, you've done that. You're on that peak. You're like, who's next? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Now, one thing I can say, I remember because I trained Errol for the Pacquiao camp, and we did from last May all the way to August, 2 weeks before the fight. We had trained 4 months, and then even though his eye had messed up and we didn't get the actual fight, I think he stayed in the gym. He never, he stayed in shape. So when he had got the next fight, he wasn't way out of shape. He had kept his conditioning. So that's one thing that I know that Errol did. He stayed on it. And I used to tell him back, when we were doing our thing, like, bro, at least come train once a week. Minimum once a week. Like, bro, I'm finna be 41 next month. I train 5 to 6, but really I train 6 days a week. And you would think, and I train hard, So, I feel like it's no excuse for a younger guy. When you got me, I'm 40 years old, about to be 41, and I train like I'm about to be in a competition or something.
Right. Man, listen, and just to reiterate, the reason why I'm so pissed at Canelo is because I was under the impression that he was so good, he didn't have to do what he did with his clenbuterol. So I held Canelo to a high standard and told her this cheating shit. But
let me say this, Drew. Let me be transparent about something. And I totally agree with you, but you still have to have a skill to be able to do what he do. I can go take, bro, listen, I can go take steroids right. We can give Stormy B steroids right now. If he go get in that boxing ring, he doesn't have the IQ, he doesn't have the skill set. I don't care how, I don't care what he takes, he's still gonna get beat.
Right.
Period. So I'm not taking up for him, but I'm just trying to get people to understand that you can't take away from the skill set. Now, if you're saying that the reason that he's beating people is because the steroids have made him stronger than everybody, okay, you got a point right there.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the skill set, steroids don't give you skills, bro.
Damn right. Damn right.
And that's just me being transparent. I see a lot of people can't be real and transparent about what steroids do and what they don't do.
That's true. That's absolutely true. In the add on to what you're saying, that's why I'm disappointed with Canelo, because I felt he didn't need that. He didn't need that because I put him skill set wise, I put him on such a high pedestal. I said when Floyd leaves the game, this is the guy skill wise. I said that. Anyone that knows me when I was on Facebook, I stuck up for Canelo crazy. That claim beautiful. First, when he dropped the title instead of fighting Gennady Golovkin the first time, that pissed me off, but I stuck with him there. Yeah. And then the drug thing, I was like, come on, dogs. You're better than that, Canelo. You're better than that. And
yeah,
I just never got back with it, man. But
I agree with you. You know, that's a stripe on his record. You know, that takes away from his legacy and everything he's done. Like, you can't deny the fact, you know. But as an athlete, somebody has to introduce this to you.
Yes.
You just don't wake up one day and say, you know what, I just want to take some steroids. So I actually blame his team. You know, I actually blame his team because somebody around him brought that to him. And, you know, because I guarantee you, he doesn't know what to do to the body. He doesn't understand how to, cycle on and off. He don't know how to do all this stuff. Yeah. It's somebody around him that's informing him all this mess. At the end of the day, we got to hold him accountable because it's his decision. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he need to check his circle. Who you got around you that would even come to you with that mess? I'd have been like, no, bye. I'm firing you. You can't be around me. Because like Drew just said, the dude didn't need it.
I don't think he did.
Absolutely, man. You just reminded me of a story that Michael Jordan shared after his career had, wrapped. When he was a rookie with the Chicago Bulls, and I'm here in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area. When he was a rookie with the Bulls, they had a lot of players. Reggie Theus was still on the team at that time. They had David Greenwood, Orlando Woolridge, Corzine, all them old names, right?
Damn. That's like 85, right?
84.
84.
And when Jordan came to the Bulls, he found out something that it's like, and he's from North Carolina, right? So it's like basically a country dude, right? When they went on the road, he had his little room, he was a rookie, but he went in one night to one of the other players' room. They had this huge spread of cocaine and weed and all the kind of drugs that you would want, right, at their disposal, just laid out. And he said when he walked into the room, he was like, it was culture shock because he didn't partake in any of that, but it was like he didn't realize that all of these teammates that were on the team, practically almost each and every one of them were partaking in this. And they were welcoming him. Hey, Michael, come on in, man, and have some fun. And he was like, no, and he left and he went and started playing video games or something. But he said it blew his mind, but it also put into perspective why the team was in the garbage can at the time when he came to it. And so what he began to do is to focus on the game for himself. And that rookie of the year that he won it because of his mentality and what was in him as far as his character. He drove himself to a point that he wanted to prove, like, I can be great without, partaking and so forth and whatever. And you look around, and as the seasons went on, certain guys were removed from the team, and they were replaced with different people with different character. and eventually it led to the building blocks of what would become a championship run for him. But when he came there, that's what he was faced with. So it is, as Blu-ray was saying, it's a choice. He could have said, "Oh, let me try." You know what I mean? And end up being the next Len Bias.
Shit.
But he didn't. He left. He isolated himself, and people were thinking, and there were rumors. If you look back, you can go back and find articles and everything. Oh, Jordan is so arrogant. He don't want to be bothered. He don't want people to come to his room and this and that. It's because everybody was always trying to give him drugs. Everybody was always trying to get him to do the sordid stuff because he was a part of the team, but they wanted him to have some dirt on him. You know, it's like that. They wanted that for him. And all he wanted to do was be a professional and be the best he could be. That's why I killed him so much in his second season when he broke his foot. And he had to miss 60 games because he wanted to rise above all of that. You know what I'm saying? But it reminds me that what you just said, it took me back to that instantly because you think about these things and it's always about a choice.
Yeah, and you know, when somebody try to offer you steroids, like you said, they make it acceptable, they make it cool. You know, oh man, you could just do this and it's gonna give you an edge, or it's gonna do this and it's gonna do that. You know, and if it's coming from somebody that you trust, you be like, oh, for real, it'll do that? It ain't gonna do this, it ain't gonna do that. No, man, it'll be safe. It'll cycle out your system before they drug test you and all this old type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be somebody close to you that you trust. So he gotta check his count.
Yeah, and that Reynoso camp, everything, especially that shit that happened later with Oscar Valpez, it all points back to that camp, man. It's like, oh shit, what again? And then I just knew Ryan Garcia was going to start snitching, and give it time. He might, you know, because he's talking a lot different now that he's left. Now, there's two sides of the spectrum. I'm looking at that. You know, Canelo said, hey, man, the guy says he's going to show up at 12. He don't show up till 2. He takes some selfies, hitting the bag, and then he leaves. Everyone's training, and he's claiming he's depressed. So now, if you want to learn the game, and Canelo Alvarez is your OG, and you want to learn the game, that's like the best. You would think that would be like the best person to learn game from. Skill set in the ring, business now. You left Canelo. What's really going on in there? And I'm just waiting for the pipe bomb. Something gonna happen where someone's gonna, you know, it's Twitter beef, and he loves that social media shit. And he's gonna start singing. This kid Ryan Garcia is gonna start singing. Where they wanted me to take something. Look for it. It's gonna happen, man. All of that stuff, it's in darkness, always comes out in the light, man. It's always going to come out, man. So that was just strange for him to move away from that shit. It's just weird to me. But I'm curious. Does anyone know? I heard Andy Ruiz left and then he came back. I don't know what happened with that. But I know he lost a ton of weight and looked like a different dude. And it was in like it's kind of like in a fast. The way he looked, it looked like more than just diet and cardio. You dig what I'm saying? It looked a little weird to me. I was like, what the fuck is that? You know, I don't know what the testing was against Chris Arreola, but to your point, Arreola, skill set wise, gave him a problem because he dropped his ass in the first round. So he could have been juiced up, but it didn't help. Now he won the fight. Chris Arreola looked really good in that fight. He looked really good. So I'm wondering. I heard that Ruiz is going to fight Ortiz next.
King Kong, yeah.
Yeah, first I heard it was the Sponge dude, but then he said no, it's going to be Ortiz. I'd like to see that fight. I've been calling for that fight.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good fight.
It's going to be a great fight. And I like Andy Ruiz. I'm not shitting on him. I just want to know, come on, what the fuck was going on in the Reynoso camp, man? Because everybody started to look like superheroes, and Ryan Garcia, he needed to be up under Canelo getting game. But he left. What the fuck was that? So there's something strange going on. I just want to know what's happening there, man. I want everybody to be clean. This is already hurt business, man. You know, listen, really think about it. If the ref don't stop that fight, how you think Ugas would have ended up? You dig what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
fucked up, man. He left out of there looking like an alien, man. That was bad, man.
Yeah, you can't
Errol,
sit there. Yeah, you can't sit in the pocket. Like it's very few fighters that sit there in the pocket with Earl. And Ugas should have known his people. Well, they should have known. Boy, you got to move, like, because you don't have no power. And one thing about Earl, I've seen Earl spar 1 million people. He would dog walk you all night if you let him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't have enough power to keep him up off you, he gonna dog walk you. So, and it's like I said, the only two people at welterweight that I feel like can't even stand in the paint is Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Them the only two that has a possible chance. I'm not even saying they're having a chance, but I'm saying those are the only two people that I think they can have a chance at 47 to stand in the paint. Now at 54, I think it'll be a different story. It's a lot of big punches at 54. So, you know, I think Earl would have to be a little bit more tactful at 54, you know.
Hey,
Nah.
what's the dude's name that Canelo beat from the UK before he fought Caleb Plant?
Was it Liam Smith?
No, the one that we don't like, Drew. The one talk-ish, the gypsy dude.
Oh,
Billy Joe Saunders.
Billy Ho. Billy Ho.
Now, remember, Canelo hit him with that uppercut and messed his eye up. Earl hit Ugas with the same shot. Because no, seriously, their heads were in the right position for that.
Yeah, because Ugas the whole night, I'm like, he was doing what Lubin was doing. Because Lubin would freeze up. And what's the guy name he fought?
Billy Joe Saunders.
No. The guy Lubin fought.
Oh, Fondura.
Because Lubin and Ugas was doing the same thing. They would get right here, and Fondura was just throwing an uppercut, and Earl was doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing. And they got the same result.
Can we call
Ugas' eye got messed up, Lubin's eye got messed up, and Saunders' eye got messed up from having their head down, looking at the floor, regardless if they had a high guard or not, because that's not the proper position that you're supposed to be in. Dude, it's like you can look at this and string it along and say, wow, this is connected to this and this is connected to this. It's like, let that be an example for people. It's like if you're out there, you got to move your head. You got to get your head off center line.
Yeah, you got to stop the line for sure.
And weave. You know what I mean? Turn your head with the shots.
But I felt bad for Ugas, but I really felt bad for Lubin, man.
Yo, can I got a picture. I got a picture of Billy Joe Saunders, y'all.
Boy, this guy.
Yo, Billy Ho is like fucking 300 pounds now. You saw this motherfucker? There you go, right there. He bringing motherfuckers gifts this December, man. Fuck out of here with this guy. Santa Claus Saunders. There you go, right there. Look at that. That's Billy Ho.
Man.
Oh my God, we call him Santa Claus now. Fuck that guy, man.
That's crazy.
I was glad Canelo bust his shit. Fuck him, Billy Ho Saunders. Yeah, man, but Errol's a fucking animal. What I want in a perfect world, I need Bud versus Errol about 2 times because the Bud fans gonna want that. They're gonna want to run that back. I just personally think that Errol's gonna beat him. So run it back, and then I want Errol to go to 54. I want Mel to become undisputed, and then drop everything and go to 60, and I want Maul to go to 168. And here's why I say this, y'all, and I'm being serious. Keep the money in circulation amongst each other because Canelo already told y'all, I'm fucking busy. Stay busy because your fucking man fans are going to pay for you to fight the Liam Callums of the world, and they're going to celebrate your pockets as if they're on your fucking payroll. So that's cool. Bud, Errol, Charlos, everybody else, y'all need to share your wealth amongst each other.
All right. Drew, what you think about Benavidez and Maul getting into it last night?
Oh, man. Okay, I saw several videos of that, right?
I'm gonna be real with you. Hey, you know,
Go ahead, talk, because I watched the video and I'm like, here we go again.
No. I'm finna say, I don't see Jamal beating Benavidez.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That's just me though. See me,
It
bro.
ain't just you.
Bro, listen. Bro, let me tell you something. When I talk boxing, I don't talk black. I don't talk none of that. I talk boxing. I don't talk color.
Absolutely.
I don't do favorites. I don't do none of that. I'm a realist. Because when I bet my money, I'm not betting my money because I got you. I bet my money on what you do. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And when it comes, I don't see him beating Benavidez. If we got Benavidez, I'm taking Benavidez, and I love Jamal. I like Jamal. I'm a Charlo fan, but I think Benavidez will win. It's just my personal opinion because this is my thing. Benavidez been calling you out, been trying to make the fight. Let's be real, y'all. Let's keep it 100. He been disrespecting you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Actually, it was Maul who started it. He mentioned Benavidez's name first.
Gotcha.
And when Benavidez answered the call, he went and hid. And then it escalated from there. And it was like he shouldn't have never called that man's name like that if he had no intention of following through or following up. Because it looked like now he been punked. And then the appearance on Mike Tyson's show didn't help him. You know what I'm saying?
Benavidez is different, bro. I don't care what nobody say. That dude different.
Canelo don't even want no part of Benavidez.
Facts.
He can lie and say everything he wants to say to make up stories.
If Benavidez fight Canelo, I got Benavidez too.
Look here. I said this, and Drew knows because I kind of repeated it on his show here. I said this a while back. You know how when you got a young fighter coming up, right, and word goes through the gym, just like it did about Errol when he came up and he was in there with Floyd and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, word came up about Benavidez. Mm-hmm. And this goes back to like when Canelo had fought Chavez Jr. Okay. After that, he said, I'm not fighting no more Mexican fighters. But people thought like certain things about that, whatever it would be, multiple variations of whatever. He saw that guy and said, I can't beat him. Because he knew that, and Benavidez, we're talking about, he was about 20, 21 then. You counting the years back, because I think he's only like 24, 25 now. He's not that much older.
He's young.
But the whole point of it is that word gets about people.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that way ahead of the game. So when he said he wasn't going to fight no more Mexican fighters, he was already setting it up for you all to not think about putting him in there with Benavidez.
Yeah.
And the PTB assisted by not only removing the championship title from Benavidez once, but twice. Once on the drug charge, they said he had, drugs in his system, cocaine, whatever. Then that second time, that missing the weight at the weigh-in during the pandemic when he was fighting a fight where we know that they play games with the scales. We know that.
Yeah.
Where he mysteriously missed weight and they snatched the damn belt away from him right away. And then here comes, just within a couple of months, here comes Canelo to take the belt. Are you kidding me?
Coincidence? I think
Canelo
not.
wasn't even interested in the belt as long as the man had it.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? That sounds like when Vladimir Klitschko wanted that Bermane-Stavern work.
Yep.
Right? But then when Deontay ended up with the belt, he no longer wanted the WBC.
Right.
That's exactly what it sounded like. So
he was even willing to pay Deontay step-aside money to face Stavern, and Deontay said, no, I'm going to fight Stavern, knock him out, and then I'll give you a title shot.
Vanished. Nobody want to talk about that. Jafar Cesar in a super chat, he said Benavidez looked like Bolo last night, a heavyweight. There was motherfuckers that was saying that. Like they saw him, like, yo, this dude, he got to be over 200 pounds right now. Jonathan Simon, salute in that super chat. He said, after last night, PBC and Showtime making it. Yeah, man. I was thoroughly entertained. Jonathan Simon back in that super chat. He said, Blu-ray, if you train Jamal, he beats Benavidez.
I don't know.
Check this out.
I don't know. Let me say this. And let me tell you why. Of course, I can get Jamal stronger. That's a fact. I can get anybody stronger. That's. But at the same time, the thing is that
You can't train his character, bro.
well, not just that. Jamal trying to keep up with Benavidez's punch output. That's my only issue. Benavidez's punch output. See, just like Stormy B was talking about. These new boxers, one punch here, 1-2 here. No, Benavidez from start to finish. Not how Errol was when Errol was working with me. From start to finish, you getting touched the whole round.
High work rate.
That's the only question I got to see if Jamal, and that's the only reason I got Benavidez over Jamal, because I'm not sure if Jamal can have a firefight with him, because we already know Benavidez can take a punch. We know Jamal can take a punch. You see what I'm saying? And you don't really see Benavidez get hit flush a lot. You see what I'm saying? So that's my only thing.
In reference to last night, though, all that screaming, because when I saw the same video from 3 different angles, and the videos went up, and Maul is screaming at him, talking about you broke, and all this other weird shit.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. You broke. You broke.
Bro, these fighters kill me, bro. You broke? What does it got to do with boxing?
Can you?
Hello, monkeys.
Can you enlighten me on what happened? Because I didn't hear about it.
All right. There's several videos floating around. One, somebody put it up. They were right underneath Jamal, right underneath it. And he's screaming at, I think it was Benavidez's dad, talking about you broke. And it was just profane language. And then I saw another one where it looked like, I think the little girl was there. Like she was in the middle of it. I don't know if she was with Benavidez's camp, but Maul was like, he was turned, man. He's screaming and cursing, and I don't even know what started it. But it don't take much to set them motherfuckers off. You know what I mean? It don't take much, but it's aggravating to see him in the middle of that, because it don't even need to get that, because you had an opportunity to fight this guy. If you'd have fought him and beat him, he could have been sitting right next to you. He'd have nothing to say to you. Divine Sense in the building. Salute.
Salute, fellas. How you doing?
What's good, brother?
Groovy. Yeah, so I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what happened. Blue, you heard anything about that?
I was there, but I didn't see it. I didn't see all the commotion. I was there, but I didn't see all the commotion. I was too busy watching the fight, I guess.
Yeah, it was right after. It was right after the
Benavidez walked right past me. I didn't see no.
It was right after the Lopez fight.
Oh, okay.
Right after the Lopez fight, it was crazy, man. It was.
Now I got to the fight when Gamboa and Cruz was fighting.
Oh, that was an execution.
That was a massacre.
That was ridiculous. That wasn't even a fight. That was ridiculous. Gamboa, please, you did enough. That guy's punch resistance been gone. It's been gone since Crawford touched him up. Every time you tap him, he starts doing the electric slide, and it's just over with, But it's hard to say I feel bad about Gamboa, because I know he got 6 figures last night. It's hard to say.
Gamboa should have stayed. He stayed in his right weight class. That's his problem.
Now you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. He should have been in the ring with Bud. You ain't lying about that. But
and the problem is too much heart. Too much heart. He's gonna get seriously hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen. You know what the Bible say about a man's pride?
What's that?
It come before a fall.
Shit.
That pride will get you every time, brother.
Yeah, man. You ain't never lied. Divine Sense in the building, man. What you thought about Errol's performance last night?
Well, I commentated on it live, round by round, and I gave Ugas 2 rounds. There were some close rounds in there, you know what I mean? But I said on my live, I can't see you giving Ugas more than 3, though, in my opinion. Like, if you gave him more than 3, you're going to have to explain yourself to me personally. But look, man, Spence, he proved a lot to me. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, I thought going into the fight that Ugas could possibly win 4 or 5 rounds in this fight if it went 12.
Yeah.
Right. So I was more surprised that Errol, you know, it took him like the first 2 rounds to feel Ugas out. And by the 3rd round, Spence just started stepping to him. Got that, you know, that shoulder into him in that southpaw position, coming up with left uppercuts and just ripping to the body. And slowly but surely, you know, Ugas started to get into deep waters. And I think you guys may have touched on it earlier, but, you know, Ugas, man, it's just no damn head movement, man.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He doesn't move his head. He just this high guard. And the problem is when that high guard, there's 2 problems with that. Number 1 is you can only keep your elbow so low, right? So you have this little pocket at the lower floating ribs, and they just start getting smashed, right? You can't keep your elbows low enough unless you're like bending over, but then you can't see nothing, right? Because you're just hunched over. Right. The second problem is that you got your glove so close to your face that eventually, you know, Earl's just chipping away, man. It's like it's just taking a sledgehammer to a boulder and just keep chipping away. And slowly that guard just starts getting peeled apart. And, you know, and you know what I mean? It's just the problem with Ugas, man, is, in my opinion, is that you can tell he's crafty. You can tell he's deceptive. And I think that Spence respected that early. He didn't take him for granted. And let's not pretend that Spence didn't get hurt in this fight. He did get hurt, you know, and, you know, he lost his mouthpiece, and I don't know what he was doing trying to look for the mouthpiece. That was a weird moment. Very, very strange moment. And then he gets cocked. He hits with the 1-2, falls into the ropes. And I think it surprised Ugas. He just kind of stood there and looked at him. And that was a very, very strange moment right there. And credit to Spence, he gathered himself. He came back in that 7th, 8th round and just started to turn it up. You know what I mean? But I think that nobody would have predicted Ugas by knockout, right? But we kind of, you know, was on the edge of that just for a split second where it was like, yo, Spence is like laying on the ropes. He doesn't got his mouthpiece in. And Ugas is just looking at him. And it was like that heart-racing moment.
He was confused because he dropped and Errol stood straight up. Because when it happened in real time, he stood straight up. And I said, what the fuck? And then the people that were commentating, I normally don't listen to them. But he said, oh, Errol's mouthpiece is out. And then he stood straight up and walked to his right. And then Ugas hit him. And then he fell into the ropes. I said, what the fuck is going on? What just happened?
Yeah.
And he didn't fall, but then he got back to business. And I said, what the fuck? When I saw it in slow motion, I said, hold on, man. He almost blew it off of what he later called a rookie mistake. I said, what the fuck? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. He almost blew it over that. But
it was weird. It was weird too with the referee. Like the referee stopping the action for Spence to get his mouthpiece back in. There was only like 50 seconds left in the round. Mm-hmm. And you know, and Ugas I think Ugas realized like, oh damn, maybe I did hurt him, and he was like trying to, you know, walk him down a little bit, and the referee like stopped it. And it's just like it's just very, very odd moment, man. And I see Watcher in the chat commenting on my videos too, saying Spence wasn't hurt. I don't agree, man. I think when he came off the ropes, he was a little bit wobbly. I mean, he took a flushed right hand.
He was buzzed because he wasn't expecting. Errol said, if I'm not mistaken, he said he thought the ref stopped the action, but the ref didn't, which made Ugas' punch legal. But then after Ugas hit him, he didn't jump on him. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I was confused, like, what's going on? But it was just strange. Salute to Riptide Blu-ray. He said he was with Nash at the fight.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yes, sir. And salute to my brother, Stay Ready Boxing in the building. Salute, fam. Salute.
Hey, Stormy. To your knowledge, the referee is not. I wouldn't say allowed, but he's not compelled to stop the action if a fighter loses a mouthpiece, right?
It's supposed to be when there's a lull in the action. There was not a lull when he stepped in. Ugas and Spence were in exchanges, and Ugas was pursuing. Spence was near the ropes, and he stepped in and stopped it. It's like that was not a moment to do that. And again, I don't like when these refs step outside of their responsibilities to do certain things, and then it's not consistent. I don't like this at all. Certain referees are noted. That guy is noted. I forget his name right now, but he is a noted guy that has done questionable things with fighters. He'll call something short for one guy and let it go on for another. I don't like the inconsistencies.
And he stopped that fight a lot last night.
He did.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a lot. Like, when Errol was getting momentum, he stopped it. When Ugas had momentum, he stopped it. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. And this is a lesson, because I'm glad Blu-ray said that, because you have to understand this about boxing. When a ref stops or intervenes in the action or delays a moment in a fight, those seconds that he does that are precious. You have no idea. And the thing about a fighter that is out of it or doesn't have his total composure or whatever, because your adrenaline runs high when you're fighting, it can come back to you in a couple of seconds, as long as your equilibrium isn't off. And that happens more than you know. When a referee intercedes, it's just like with Wilder and Fury, their third fight. When Wilder put Fury on that canvas and the referee told him to go to the neutral corner and kind of directed him and steered him and walked him over there and asked him, did he have change and all of this stuff, while the guy outside the ring was counting, and he didn't even pick up the count from the guy outside the ring.
That's right.
He started his count from where he ended his count. So he was like, 1, 2, hey, go over there to the neutral corner. 3, 4. Right. It was like 7, 8. You understand?
Yeah, that's right.
And it makes a difference. But who's holding these people accountable? And like I said, that fight is done. It's finished, right? So it happened. But what about the very next time, like last night, when you got Lawrence Coles, and thank you, Almighty Law, for saying his name, when you got him stopping the fight and Ugas' eye wasn't near shut at that time, but he still took him over there to the ringside doctor.
Yeah.
And the ringside doctor, go back and watch this. The ringside doctor put his left hand over Ugas' left eye and was asking him how many fingers I got over here with his right hand over the right eye. Why are you crossing his face?
Why are you crossing your fucking hands? Yep.
What are you
That
doing?
was ridiculous.
See what I'm saying?
How many fingers I'm holding up?
If you don't pick up on this foolishness, man, I'm pointing it out for you.
Fucked up.
What is
he doing?
You can tell Ugas was kind of struggling too. He's like,
he's doing this. What is that?
Yeah.
It's bad enough he don't speak English.
Put his hand over his eye like this and say how many fingers I got, whatever. But no, he's doing this crisscross stuff. It's like, man, what is this?
Stormy, he was like, who's the president of the United States? He was like, yeah.
You see that shit? It's crazy. And
Who's
it's
the president?
Okay, am I the only one checking this out? You know? Fuck out of here, man.
And I'm gonna be real with you. That's why, I hate boxing. Yeah, the ref, like, he don't even speak English. You talking to this dude.
Yeah.
In English.
Him all kind of questions. Bro. What's your blood type? What zip code are we in? And he's like,
Ugas was like, yeah.
Okay.
What's for dinner tonight? Yeah. Who's the president? Como?
Do y'all think the doctor should have stopped the fight?
No.
No.
You know why? And I'll make it very simple.
It's tough.
This is because it was a unification fight with two champions. Let it go to its fruition, man. Let it go to its finish, because you don't want interference. You just want it to come to its completion. Now, if Ugas's corner stops it, that's great. But swollen eyes, cut, orbital fractures, all of that shit is a part of boxing, isn't it?
Facts. Yeah, I Ugas still wanted to fight.
Right.
That's why I'm really not satisfied, because Ugas still wanted to fight, even though I know it's ugly, but he still wanted to fight. Now, when you go to the Erickson Lubin fight, you know, his corner stopped the fight. They were like, no, our fight has taken too much damage. You know what I'm saying? But Ugas, I think he would have just tried to be in survival mode for the last two fights and try to finish the fight out.
You think I heard I'm not clear on what all the injuries. You think his ribs was bruised or cracked at some point?
I don't know. I've seen Errol break people's ribs before, so I wouldn't doubt it. But you know, I don't know what the actual prognosis was as far as the actual injury. So y'all can probably pull it up.
Yeah.
But you know what though? It's a tough. I mean, for the doctor, the doctor can say, "Hey, he can't see," right? But the doctor doesn't stop the fight. The ref does.
Right.
So the ref has to say, "Oh, he can't see. Okay, well, I'm going to stop the fight." The ref has an opportunity to then go to the fighter, be like, "You want to continue?" And it was clear that Ugas was like, "Yeah," you know what I mean.
Yeah, he was
and
game.
if you wanted to take an extra couple seconds and walk across to the corner and ask the team, like, you guys okay with this? Yeah, okay, you know what I mean. And then let's go, right? So the doctor, people need to understand, the doctor doesn't stop it. The ref does. The ref has the ultimate authority in the ring.
Well, I just seen what's your name?
Divine Sense Boxing.
Okay, Divine. Yeah. So the one thing that I did see, I seen the doctor looked at the ref and said he told the ref that he couldn't see anymore. So evidently, I guess the ref stopped it when the doctor told him that. But
correct.
Ugas was combating that. He was like, "No, I'm for good. I can still fight." You know,
right.
So
right, exactly. Now, normally, when people ask me, you know, if a guy's eye is broken, and like Stormy said, if the corner steps in, that's under. Even if the fighter wants to continue, you got to respect the corner, right? Especially when you. I mean, if you can't see out of one eye, I mean, it's tough, right? But on top of that, Ugas was never dropped. Right? So you got to give him that benefit of the doubt as well. Now, what round was it? 10th, right? When it ended?
Yeah.
10th.
Yeah. So if you get into 11 or maybe 12 and then he takes a knee or he gets dropped because he got hit on that side of the face or something like that, then it starts to get a little bit cringy, right? But it wasn't at that point yet. Now, Ugas was slowing down, and if it went 12, he was going to lose the fight. But that shouldn't. But that shouldn't matter, though. If you know what I mean, it's like we can go back and revisit Wilder and Fury too, when Wilder wanted to continue and the towel was thrown in.
No.
Yeah. So it's one of those tricky situations, man. But I think that
like you said, it was his corner though, Divine.
For Wilder.
Yeah. It was his dumbass corner. That's a whole nother. Don't even get
without any conversation with Deontay though. That's important. You can't just throw in it like randomly just throw in a towel without warning your fighter. Right? Like you're on this. I mean, I think the round that it was stopped in was only like a minute into that round. So you just got off the stool a minute before that. And Mark Breland could have been like, "Hey, if you don't show me something, I'm going to stop it."
Yeah.
Because Wilder's not going to react that way if he's been warned, right? You know what I mean? Now Wilder can get upset. Wilder can be like, "You better not stop it," but it doesn't matter. You've been warned. So you better do something.
Yeah, because that's what Kevin Cunningham did too. The round before Lubin, before he stopped the fight with Lubin, he told him, "Man, you got to show me something."
Right.
Yeah, you know, this conversation reminds me of a fight that took place at junior middleweight back in the 90s where John David Jackson was fighting what's his name? Jorge was it Jorge? I can't remember his last name, but the guy from Argentina. John David was having his way with this guy, had opened up a bad cut over his eye. He was banging him. And out of nowhere, Jorge, the Argentine, hit him with this punch and knocked him out. But prior to that, the refs, they were looking at the cut on his eye. It was really bad. They were thinking about stopping the fight, and they didn't. And he goes out there, and John David had him up against the ropes. He had, was banging him really good. Looked like he was about to finish Jorge. And Jorge, out of nowhere, threw this punch, a left hook, bam, and hit John David on his chin. And he went down, and he was really hurt. He couldn't beat the count, and he was knocked out. He was the champ. He lost his title. And just like, and if you think if they had stopped the fight on the cut and not allowed this guy to go through with the fight, he wouldn't be a world champion. And the thing was, Jorge Costco. Thank you, Patrick Levant. Appreciate you, man. I couldn't remember his name, but that's the type of thing that, remember what I said, a few seconds in a boxing match, and next thing you know, something happened that you never thought, and it can come from anywhere. And it's like, that's why you let it go. You let it go to its completion. If someone wants to stop it after the round has ended or whatever, or just before the next round begins, fine. But when it's action and it's going, you have to let that go, man. Until somebody submits, or can't consciously go forward with themselves anymore. That's the difference. And the referees take that out of the fighter's hands a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm with Divine. Like you said, Ugas never took a knee. He never got dropped. So until we see some of that magnitude, they should have let the fight keep going.
No, I agree. Let me read this super chat. Don Shada in the super chat. He said, salute everyone. Great fight last night. Hope Ugas recovers and rests himself. Now bring on Bud so Spence can stop him also. Hashtag man down. I got I put a link in the chat. Let me get to this. Patrick Levant. He said, Jorge Castro. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. I completely forgot about that fight. But yeah, man. What was I gonna say? Oh, y'all are absolutely correct. While everyone's still warm, before the car get cold, I would like for Bud and Spence to fight on the weekend of August 6th for a particular reason. I'm calling for the fight right now, August 6th, Dallas, Texas. I'm gonna be in Texas at that time, so I'm calling for that while the engine is still hot. So somebody reach out to Errol, and I know somebody know Bud. Somebody reach out to Bernie and tell them to get that paperwork in so they can fight on August 6th. Because Errol looks just fine to me. Errol's probably, I don't know, racing his horses on his farm. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But he's chilling right now. He probably had a big old hamburger, and he's chilling right now. So he's fresh, no injuries. Bud's fresh, no injuries. Get the paperwork done. Can we get that fight August 6th in Dallas? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Can we get that fight August 6th in Dallas? If not, if it's going to be October or November, y'all can come to the Barclays in New York.
Did y'all hear? Because I heard Fred.
Likely.
I heard Fred, and I don't know if y'all have any knowledge of this, but Fred from Barbershop Conversations was saying that if they don't do the fight before some date in November, that Bob Arum has ties with the WBO, and then the mandatory for the WBO has to take place. Did y'all know? Y'all got any information on that?
Oh God, I hope not. I mean,
Bob
Fred talks
always
about
like to interfere with stuff that ain't got nothing to do with
Yeah,
him.
but Fred was saying they have to have a date for that fight for it to happen before, or Bob is going to activate the mandatory. He's not going to pass on the mandatory.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope Fred's
It's in November,
wrong.
so
I hope it's 100% wrong.
I think they say like 18 months. I think if I overhear Fred say it's like 18 months, and then the mandatory has to be activated. so they got to fight before a certain date in November.
Man, I hope not. Salute to Roderick Freelot in that super chat. Much love. He said, great show, guys. Spence was in tip-top shape. Great job to him. And he did great job to you, Blu-ray.
Now, I didn't train him this fight.
But you know what? He need to pick up that phone and holler at you for Bud, just off a general principle. I think. Well, we could talk about it now. I think he's gonna stop Bud, man. If Bud tries to go in the pocket with him, I know his hand speed is there, but I'm sure of it after last night. You don't punch with Errol at all. You don't do that shit.
Yeah, Bud don't have. Bud don't have what it takes to punch with Errol at all. I'm sorry. Bud got power, but he can't punch with Errol. Not in the pocket. Just sit there. He gonna have to box.
Yeah, you got to box. There's only one type of fighter that has a chance against Spence. you gotta out jab him, and you gotta outmaneuver him, and you just gotta outpoint him, and maybe you can sneak something in and hurt him. But we saw a little bit of mortality with Spence. I think, in my opinion, you can touch him. You know what I mean? But it's not going to be easy, and you definitely ain't going to do it toe to toe. And let's not forget, it's not like Spence was fighting and got caught. He turned his head away and got caught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake that he almost paid for it dearly.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, are we gonna talk? I mean, obviously, we're talking a little bit about Spence and Bud now. I don't want to turn the tables too much, but I have to say that I am a little bit disappointed that Bud wasn't at the fight. And I heard that, he was training a fighter, this, that, and whatever. I get it, but it would have been nice to see him there, and be interviewed there at the fight, and have those juices flowing. But I will say this: I feel like I mean, I'm not going to accept anything less than Spence and Bud at this point. I refuse it. I absolutely refuse. With everything that has happened and the way everything has fallen into place, it seems to me that Spence is more than ready. We've seen what he said in the ring, obviously post-fight, the Instagram posts, the Twitters, everything like that. So to me, Spence is ready. And I think Bud's ready too, but this is boxing, right? I learned to not hold my breath because I will pass out.
No doubt.
Right? So you just don't know. I mean, Drew, like, this is the type of situation where all of a sudden we're clamoring, we're ready, we think it's going to happen, and then we get Bud and Keith Thurman or some shit like that.
Oh man, please, let's not. Oh God, I'll go into a state of depression. Salute to my brother, main event Mark. Derek James is very underrated as a coach. Let me tell you something. And Tremont George says Ugas was not fighting back, bro. He wasn't. He wasn't, because I don't think he could at that point. Let me tell you something. Derek James right now should get trainer of the year. He beats Bud this year. That's one undisputed. Mel beats Castano. That's two undisputed fighters. I don't want to hear anything less than Derek James is trainer of the year. Don't give me no Reynoso. Don't pull Freddie Roach out your ass. Don't give me Lomachenko's dad. I want to hear nothing else. It's Derek James. Fucking crazy, man. These people are just the levels of stupidity. Salute to Don Shotter back in that super chat. He says, Bud getting stopped. He going to get hurt. We haven't seen EJ's best yet. EJ should be calling for this one, Blue. He is. He is, man. He said it. And Bud responded on the gram. I mean, on Twitter, I believe. I saw it. So
and I absolutely love.
He commented on Earl's post on Instagram.
Okay. Well, there it is. There it is. The fight's already made. It's up to us. We won't accept anything else. Now, we're the fan base, right? We're not accepting anything less than Bud next. So I don't want Bob in the middle of this. I don't want Eddie Hearn poking his European head around the corner. I don't want none of this shit. This is for the culture. This is our Hearns Hagler.
I don't care where they fight. They can fight in Antarctica for all I give a shit. Build an ice dome.
For real.
I mean, like, I don't care. They can fight in Tijuana in front of a strip club.
I gotta salute to Be That Beach. with the super sticker. Much love, sis. I'm still working on that situation we was talking about. Salute to you, sis. But yo, the link I've been putting in the chat, that's for my other channel. That's the Pay for Excellence podcast. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe there. That is not a boxing channel. We be talking our shit over there. Go over there and just click on the video. Blue, you know I got to get you on there. We're going to need your expertise. You definitely need your expertise over there.
That's what's up.
Cooking over there. No doubt, man. Stormy, let them know how they can find the sensei.
Oh, man, I'm right here on YouTube. Stormy B Man is the channel. We got a lot going on over there, man. It's like the shows are growing. Everything is expanding. The numbers are going through the roof. You better catch that train while you can.
No doubt. Divine Sense Boxing. Man, it needs on introduction. Let them know how they can find you, brother.
Yep, that's what it is. Divine Sense Boxing, man. Search it. And what I do is mostly predictions, breakdowns, and things like that. And, you know, live commentary, which a lot of people enjoy. I had close to 300 people last night in the live as I was commentating the fight. So that's what I like to do. And, you know, if you're not subscribed, you better subscribe, stay a part of the conversation. Shout out to Drew. Blu-ray's first time I'm meeting you, bro. I'm going to subscribe. You got a channel as well, or?
Yeah, I talk about everything. I just don't talk about boxing.
Hey, Blue, you see the screen?
Huh?
You see the screen right there?
What?
You see this person right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just come on to the Painful Excellence podcast and just I need you to keep an eye on this one.
Oh, okay.
Shauna get lit.
Keep an eye on that one. Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, it's the Blu-ray show, Divine. And I'll make sure I tap in. Let me see, Divine Sense Box. Okay, I'm a tap in on yours too.
Don't diggity doubt, man. Much love and appreciation, y'all. I gotta go. Me and the wife about to head out, driving to Manhattan, and see what we can get into.
All right, brother.
Much love and appreciation to y'all. And yo, Jamal, stop playing.
Yeah, go on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Yeah, man, come on! Better than that!
I see y'all in the morning, Bronx on deck.
Move!